The Corthani observation vessel Silent Witness maintained its position at the edge of Earth's solar system. Its advanced sensors focused on the unusual activity in the asteroid belt. The Galactic Maritime Council had dispatched them to observe humanity's first large-scale military exercise in space, a routine assessment of a species barely 50 years into interstellar travel. Captain Zalketh reviewed the preliminary data with casual interest. Standard fleet maneuvers, I assume? Formation flying, basic weapons testing. Unknown, Captain, replied Sensor Operator Nixval. The humans have constructed what appears to be an artificial battlefield using hollowed asteroids. They've also deployed civilian vessels alongside military craft. Zalketh's interest sharpened. Most species kept their civilian and military operations strictly separate, especially during combat exercises. The humans seemed to blur such distinctions with reckless abandon. The exercise began at 0800 hours, Earth Standard Time. What the Corthani witnessed defied every convention of civilized warfare they had ever studied. The human fleet split into two forces, Blue Team representing Earth defense, Red Team playing the role of an invading alien armada. But instead of the predictable lance formations and textbook maneuvers the Corthani expected, chaos erupted across the simulated battlefield. Blue Team's commander, Admiral Rebecca Torres aboard the UES Defiance, issued orders that would have triggered court-martials in any sane military. All civilian craft, you are now armed merchantmen. Cargo haulers, ram anything with a red designation. Passenger liners, you're now troop transports, board and capture enemy vessels. Captain, Nixval's voice carried unmistakable alarm. The human civilians are... Zalketh watched in fascination as a human mining vessel used its asteroid-cracking charges to disable a Red Team destroyer. A luxury cruise ship had somehow retrofitted its hull with boarding pods and was attempting to capture an enemy command cruiser. The humans treated every vessel, regardless of its original purpose, as a potential warship. But the true horror began when Red Team started winning. Implement Broken Arrow Protocol, Admiral Torres commanded with chilling calm. The Corthani sensors detected massive energy buildups throughout the Blue Team fleet. Every human vessel, from the smallest transport to the largest battleship, was arming its self-destruct systems. They're preparing to detonate their entire fleet, Nixval whispered. All of them, military and civilian craft alike. Surely a training malfunction, Zalketh muttered, but his confidence was shaking. The human vessels began ramming maneuvers, not desperate last stands, but calculated suicide attacks designed to maximize damage to Red Team forces. The Defiance itself, engines overloaded, plowed directly into Red Team's flagship. The explosion registered on Corthani sensors from 3 AU away. Within minutes, both fleets had been reduced to expanding clouds of debris. The exercise had ended in total mutual annihilation. Exercise concluded, came the transmission from Human Command. Excellent work, both teams. Casualty simulations indicate 100% losses for both forces. Mission parameters achieved. Post-exercise analysis begins in 1 hour. The Corthani bridge fell silent. In their species' military history, mutual annihilation was considered the ultimate failure, a catastrophe to be avoided at any cost. The humans spoke of it as if it were a successful training outcome. Ratios and strategic value of Pyrrhic victories. They have entire tactical doctrines based on scenarios where everyone dies. Captain Zalketh studied the debris field where 200 human spacecraft had just obliterated each other in a training exercise. The humans had simulated their own extinction and called it a victory because they had taken the enemy with them. Prepare an immediate report to the Maritime Council, he ordered. Priority classification, species-wide threat assessment. The report would be brief but devastating. Humans do not fight to win. They fight to ensure their enemies lose. They treat mutual destruction not as failure, but as an acceptable outcome. They have weaponized the concept of losing. The Silent Witness jumped to hyperspace, carrying with it the terrible knowledge that somewhere in the galaxy was a species that practiced extinction as a military exercise and considered it good training.